Well, we know that Justin Trudeau at this point is receiving a lot of heat within the government as well, within the country as well, with people not very satisfied with the claims that he's made against India, one of their strongest diplomatic partners at one point. In fact, nearly 2 million Indians who are currently residing and working in Canada, about roughly 5 lakh students who are currently studying there. So the ties that were so strong at one point is now completely derailed, with Justin Trudeau making allegations without actual concrete proof. So far, there's been no evidence that's been presented to India on why they feel India has been involved in Niger's killing. And that's precisely what Trudeau admitted as well as part of his testimony, claiming that we don't have hard evidence, but we have intelligence reports and we want India to act on it. Now, also as part of that testimony there, Justin Trudeau did admit that Prime Minister Modi did mention about the Khalistani extremism gaining ground in Canada, asking for Canada to take control over that, to basically clamp down on that kind of extremism and hate India campaigns that happens on Canadian soil, all of which was elaborately explained by Trudeau himself. So clearly contradictory to what Trudeau has claimed from the start, that India has not responded, that India is not cooperating. On every level, India at this point has very clearly stated that we have no evidence, that we have got no evidence from Trudeau, and therefore there is really nothing to respond at this point. Unless and until evidence is shared, there cannot be a response. Trudeau's charges really falling flat here. Canadian Prime Minister admitting that he does not have hard proof itself makes it quite clear. Now, as we see here, MEA has responded. Trudeau had stated when Canadian agencies asked India to look into the allegations, India sought proof. He's asserted that at that point it was primarily intelligence reports and no hard evidentiary proof. Basically, there was nothing concrete that Canada could share, but wanting India to act just merely on intelligence inputs is certainly too much for. In a sharply worded statement, India called out Trudeau's cavalier attitude after he acknowledged that he had only negligence-based speculation and not solid proof. Of course, India now responding. Trudeau also speaking about his meeting with Prime Minister Modi at the G20. He in his testimony claims, I could have made G20 tough for India by bringing up the Niger killing allegations there in front of the G20 members, but I chose not to. Trudeau now is also facing heat at home as his rival, Pierre Poilievre, who's claimed that Trudeau allowed China's interference to win him 2 polls. Basically, the heat now mounting on Trudeau right ahead of elections that he will face just around the corner.
Work behind the scenes to try and get India to cooperate with us. Their asks of us was, well, how much do you know? Give us the evidence you have on this. And our response was, well, it's within your security agencies. You should be looking into how much they know. You should be engaging. It's, no, tell us what you know. Show us the evidence. And at that point, it was primarily intelligence, not hard evidentiary proof. So we said, well, let's work together and look into your security services and maybe we can get that done. No. As we approached the end of August and September, the big thing that was happening was India was itself hosting the leader of the summit of the advanced economies of the world, the G20. So it was a big moment for India, welcoming the world, all the leaders of the world to Delhi for a very important summit. And we had the opportunity of making it a very uncomfortable summit for India if we went public with these allegations ahead of time. We chose not to.
Right, huge furor in India over Trudeau's back-to-back allegations on the Indian government. The Congress is now speaking in 2 voices. Congress MP from Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, is supporting Canada's stand here. He held the centre accountable, saying the central agencies must respond to Canada and that they must be responsible for diplomatic ties being derailed, and asking for better relations with Canada considering scores of Punjabis live there. That's what Channi has said, asserting that the relationship between the 2 countries have been strong as Punjabis by and large are residing in Canada, huge population. Asking Prime Minister Narendra Modi to make his stance clear on the controversy, Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh has now asked the centre to take the opposition into confidence on this Canada matter. Congress MP Abhishek Manu Singhvi, meanwhile, slamming Trudeau for sympathizing with Khalistanis in his country. He alleges that he's talking all of this against India because of mounting pressure from Khalistani thugs. TMC too slamming Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau for making anti-India remarks.
ਸਾਡਾ ਹਰ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਘਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕੁੜੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਖਰਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ। ਸਾਡੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਧਾਰੇ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੱਜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਜੰਸੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਕਤਲ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਰਾਜਨੀਤਿਕ ਹੈ। ये गल थोड़े थोड़े दिनों च होर अगे आके समझ आ जाएगी।
जो आरोप भारत पे लगाया जा रहा है इसका जवाब तो प्रधानमंत्री को देना चाहिए। जब कनाडा के ही राष्ट्रपति जब आरोप लगा रहे हैं, वहाँ की सरकार ही जब भारत सरकार पे आरोप लगा रही है, तो भारत को उस पर मौन नहीं रहना चाहिए। क्या बात है नहीं बात है, ये बात प्रधानमंत्री को बताना चाहिए पूरी दुनिया।
भारत किसी भी देश के आंतरिक मामलों में दखल नहीं देता, लेकिन यदि कोई भारत की संप्रभुता पर, यदि भारत की रक्षा और सुरक्षा पर सवाल उठाएगा तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत इतना सक्षम है कि वो उसका जवाब देगा। अब चूंकि स्वयं कनाडा के प्रधानमंत्री ने इस बात को स्वीकार किया है, तो निश्चित रूप से स्थिति बिल्कुल स्पष्ट हो गई है। कनाडा को चाहिए कि वो जो भी आतंकवादी उनके यहाँ पनाह लिए हुए हैं उनको वो भारत को सुपुर्द करे, ताकि भारत के कानून के अनुसार उनके साथ यथोचित कार्रवाई की जा सके।
Trudeau Khalistani terrorist link has now been exposed. In the most shocking confession ever, Khalistani terrorist Pannun has revealed his direct links to Canadian Prime Minister. Pannun has admitted that he was in touch with Trudeau, sharing information against India. He in fact revealed that Trudeau acted upon whatever information that he passed to Trudeau and his office, stating that he's in direct touch with Trudeau for the last 3 years now. India Today has accessed Pannun's Khalistani group's letter sent to Trudeau on September 27th. The K-terrorist sought expulsion of the Indian High Commissioner. The letter clearly proves that Trudeau acted after Pannun asked him to. Meanwhile, Canadian MP Chandra Arya urged Trudeau to act against Khalistani extremism, expressing concerns for the safety of Hindu Canadians, stating that many of them feel threatened right now by the recent surge in Khalistani activity on Canadian soil.
Namaste. I've heard concerns from Hindus across Canada regarding recent developments. As a Hindu member of Parliament, I too have experienced these concerns firsthand. Last week, I could safely participate in a Hindu event in Edmonton only under the protection of RCMP officers, as a group of Khalistani protesters staged a disruptive demonstration against me. In Canada, we have long recognized the serious problems of Khalistani violent extremism. Let me be clear, any actions or involvement by foreign state actors within Canada in any form are unacceptable. As Canadians, we do not wish for Canada to interfere in the domestic affairs of other countries. Likewise, we do not want foreign governments interfering in Canada's domestic matters, including those involving Khalistani extremism. This is a Canadian problem, and it is a duty of all levels of our government and our law enforcement agencies to address it.
Now, meanwhile, the US says it's satisfied with India's cooperation in the Kill Pannun plot probe. US Matthew Miller says India had informed that the individual who was accused of directing the assassination plot on US soil is no longer an employee of the Indian government. Listen in.
We've received an update from them on the investigation that they have been conducting. It was a productive meeting, and I will leave it at that. They did inform us that the individual who was named in the Justice Department indictment is no longer an employee of the Indian government. We are satisfied with the cooperation. It continues to be an ongoing process. We continue to work with them on that, but we do appreciate the cooperation, and we appreciate them updating us on their investigation as we update them on ours.